For this week's topic train discussion, we're going to discuss what do you need to have a hustler's mindset. To start a discussion, let's jump into what our definition of a hustler is, just to be clear for people who have different definitions based on their age group, location, or even culture. We're going to define a hustler as an individual who wants something so badly they do whatever it takes to make money by doing something they're either good at, have a strong passion for, by any means necessary. Of course, I'm going to stress that we promote and encourage legal ways of being an entrepreneur so we can have you here
Absolutely.
in our community for a long time and, of course, a great time. So to start it off, in order to have the hustler's mindset, to be successful, have wealth and financial freedom, and be your own boss, you're going to need resilience, which is defined as the process of successfully adapting to difficult or challenging life experiences, especially through mental, emotional, and behavioral flexibility and adjustment to external and internal demands, which basically just to get through it, it's you're having tough skin and you're able to bounce back. So now, how do you build resilience? Let's start off with the following. Number one, expect to fail often. There was a quote that I saw from Thomas Edison where he said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Hustlers don't stress about mistakes. Let's get that straight, right? Because they're always finding ways to learn, grow, and to either improve their product or service. The second thing is never, ever give up. I mentioned this a couple episodes before, right? So remember, if whatever you're doing was that easy, then everyone else in the world would be doing it, and there would be a lot of competition, and would there even be a demand for your product or service, right? So you just have to trust the process by doing it over and over again with practice and making necessary improvements. And definitely get out of the habit of expecting instant gratification. The last thing you need to build resistance is to commit to making a habit of improving yourself daily by using the process I mentioned in our last episode of Overcoming Fear, by identifying your problem, creating a plan, executing, reflecting, and making continuous improvements. And of course, when in doubt, just utilize the people around you who can help you complete your task or who you can also learn from.
Good shit, Flip.
Yeah, man, that was good. Solid, bro. Good. Yeah, man, I like that you said delayed gratification. I think that's a big part of this, bro. And I think when people, when they think of like, oh man, it's going to be this long until I get this or that long until I get that, it kind of turns them off, right? So I think a person that is okay with delayed gratification, man, you're already ahead of the game. So I'm really glad that you mentioned that, bro. All right, so let me take a shot at this here. So I think that when we're talking about a hustler's mindset and being of that kind of person, I think that you gotta have ambition in your arsenal here, right? It's got to be part of it. And ambition is just the idea of always wanting more and being proud of what you're doing, but never being satisfied, right? So I think that being an ambitious person is an absolute element into being successful in this game of financial independence, financial freedom. And I think that it goes on all levels, I believe. It can be the person that is just starting out, right, getting their feet wet. They got to be ambitious enough to wake up every day and try to get better and to learn and to build that base. It could be someone that's been in the market for a few years like us, right, and just continue just to nail it. And then it can also be somebody that's been doing it 20, 30 years. Just the idea of you wake up every day and you got to be about it. You got to have that idea of abundance and wanting more. And like I said, being proud of what you're doing and being focused, but also not being satisfied where you are and always striving to become the best version of you that you can. And I think that that's inserted with growth. And with growth comes ambition or vice versa. You got to be ambitious to grow, right? And that's what we're all striving to do. We're all striving to grow in our personal lives, financially, spiritually, just in life. You want to grow. So I think being a person of ambition is extremely important. And with being ambitious comes setting goals for yourself, allowing yourself to hit those milestones and check them off and go to the next thing, and always having something that you're striving for. So that's how I feel about ambition and incorporating that into the mindset of being a hustler and just continuing to build and grow and always want more.
Love it, man.
Yes, sir. All right, so I'm gonna go like this, right? So the word hustler historically has a negative connotation. Growing up where me and Nick are from, Yonkers, New York, there was a lot of
Wow,
quote unquote hustlers, basically anyone that would try to get ahead or get over on you by any means necessary, usually by trying to scam someone else out of money or something valuable, right? So ambition, on the other hand, it's always been seen as a good thing. Basically, if you're ambitious, it means that you're willing to do pretty much anything to achieve a goal or to be successful in something. When you put those two words together, the word that comes to my mind is perseverance. I believe that in investing, but especially trading, a person needs to have perseverance. Historically, if you continue to consistently invest, after a period of time, you will have a big nest egg. The perseverance comes into play with making tough decisions with your money. It's very easy to spend money on things you want. The hard part is saying no to those impulses and putting that money in your brokerage account or your retirement account instead. Also, when the market isn't going in your favor and you see the balance dropping, it can be very easy to be discouraged and think you're failing and want to just get out. But history has shown that those who persevere reap the benefits in the long run. Now in trading, perseverance is paramount. I don't care how good of a trader you are or you think you are, every single trader has lost money and has had a bad stretch of losing money. And it often happens when you try to scale your size up after you've been doing good for a while. The market will humble your ass real quick. This is where you have two choices. Do I give up because it's difficult and I'm losing money, or do I persevere because if I do figure this thing out, it can change my life? I often go back to 2020 when COVID took over our lives with the pandemic. Like many people, I got laid off from my day job because of all the restrictions and uncertainty surrounding the coronavirus. I started trading in the middle of 2018, and I definitely paid my dues to the market the first year and a half of my journey. I don't have the exact figure, but I was down in my trading account for sure. But what did I do in March 2020? I deposited $10,000 into a brokerage account, and I had confidence in myself because of my experiences so far in trading the market that I could at least temporarily make some money to replace my 9-to-5 job income. I did a 10K challenge starting on March 18th of 2020. I completed that challenge on Nick's birthday, April 13th of that year.
I remember that, man.
Yeah. And I still have that story up in my Instagram bio with the screenshots of all the trades if anybody wants to see. I ended up not going back to work until mid-June of that year. But that account went from starting at 10K to over $40,000.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo, baby.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
That's perseverance in a nutshell. I could have easily said trading isn't for me, or it's a hustle that gurus, fake gurus use online to prey on people looking for quick money by selling bullshit courses. But I learned a lot. And even though I didn't see success really for almost 2 years, I stayed with it and I finally reaped the benefits of all that hard work. So yeah, for me, when someone says hustler's ambition, the word perseverance is what I think about. Continuing to work hard and trying to achieve something, no matter how difficult it is or how discouraged you get in the process, man. So that's what I think when I hear hustler's ambition.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, man.
Beautiful, man. I think that too. Like, perseverance is like, you gotta have that in your tool set, right? Like especially trading, or let's just back it up, zoom out a little bit. Let's talk about life for a second, right? Like, life is gonna punch you in the face, bro. Like, it's inevitable. Everybody is gonna get punched in the face. It's all about how you handle that on a day-to-day basis, because it's coming. It's not if it's gonna happen, it's when it's gonna happen. And just like a boxer, right? Like, a boxer, you don't say, if you're a boxer, you don't say, I don't like getting punched in the face. You get punched in the face because it's part of it, right? Yep. So just like in life, you have your ups and downs, and you got to be able to persevere and get through that, So, yeah, man. So that's like these things that we talked about, bro. These can equate to investing, relationships, friendships, life, you know what I mean? So, yeah, careers, man. So, it's so key, bro. And it's not until you back it up a little bit and you see like, oh shit, like this, if I get this solid in my investing, this can help me in my life. This can help me in my relationship with my wife, with my kids, all this shit. And that's when you start to get like the roundabout like, you know, the scope of abundance and
Yep.
and putting it all together, you know, and it's a beautiful thing when you work it like that and your mindset together with everything. It's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, I mean that's what we're trying to do here, man. Because they say the number one cause of divorces or bad, you know, marriages is it's financial
Yep.
problems, right? So you got to get that straight first, man. You get your finances straight, it'll help a lot of areas of your life, you know. So yeah, persevere, you know, ambitions,
Being resilient.
Resilience.
It's
all
all just
this
learning
stuff.
from mistakes.
Yeah,
Just
man,
bouncing
and we've
back.
all been through it, right? We've all been through it, bro. What we talked about this earlier before we even started the podcast. We were talking about this, like during the coronavirus, right? Like me and you were green. We were fresh. We were fresh into investing. Waking up and your account is down $10,000 in a day, right? So it's like that's perseverance, man. Especially greenhorns. We're still wet behind the ears, and we're looking at this like, you know, is this for us? Is this something that we should be involved in? And you learn real quick, like, are you got it or not? You know, so perseverance to the T. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it was an uncertain time, so you're like, all right, should I really keep my money in this market? Like this thing could go to zero. You know, it never has before, but you never know. Like this virus that we never seen this shit before. We could easily, like I said, I got laid off. I didn't know how long I was going to be laid off. You know, I needed that money for my family. You know, I mean,
Of course.
Alex was born in 2019, right before the corona came. So I was like, all right, I got a family. I can.
You gotta
Should I
tighten
be,
it up.
should I be trading? Should I be investing this money? I mean, I'm gonna need this money. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta have faith. That's one thing, and then everything we talked about. You know, you gotta do all that, man, because it's worth it. At the end of the day, it's worth it, man.
Yeah.
If you just gotta stick to it, and you're gonna come out ahead in life. You know.
Got to
And
be
then-
optimistic.
Yeah, and then I want to talk about something else. But you guys remember when back in this is way back, and it was like 2006. Remember, I was working a job and I got hurt on the job, right?
Oh yeah.
Of course,
Remember,
man.
I was
The hand, right?
Yeah.
I remember, of course, bro.
I don't know if anybody can see. I got the scar right there. Yeah. So I was working a job, and I was a couple like maybe a few weeks or a few months away from getting my union book, and I was like, you know me, I've always been like, I want to be in the union, this and that, blah blah blah. And then that injury happened, and it derailed me. So I mean, I could have given up and, you know, never tried to work again. But you know, I mean, all these years later, back in 2015, luckily my uncle Dave, you know, he put me on, he helped me out, and like I finally
out to
got into
Dave.
it. Yeah, shout out to my uncle
him,
Dave,
for
man.
real.
He's a great person, man. He's a great man. He's married to my aunt, man. I love him, and
And he has multiple
put me,
properties too.
yeah,
that
man.
guy's a hustler, man. Talk about
Yeah.
a hustler. Homeboy's
Yeah.
a hustler.
And he
man.
invests too.
That boy's a hard worker.
That's a real estate man right there, and yeah, he works the markets, he works crypto, he works everything, man. I mean, so shout out to
He was a guy that he was like when we were coming up and we were in our early 20s. He was working already, bro. You
Yeah.
remember that?
Yeah,
So he was
yeah.
like, you know, he was kind of a guy like even subconsciously that we kind of looked up to, just as a guy, as a grown man that was, you know, had a career and was a working man, taking care of a family. That was admirable. I remember, you know, early on. So Dave has always been like, man, that's a good
hold
dude
up.
for me, man.
Didn't he buy Doge and sell Doge at the right time?
Yeah,
What a great guy.
He's the anti-flip. He actually made money from those.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, hold up. I should have
But yeah.
followed his steps in direction.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's not that much older than we are, man. But he
Got an early start though.
He's been in the union. He's been doing construction for over 20 years already, man. So it's
wow.
like he's been in
so
it, man.
indeed,
So I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, he brought me in and back in 2015 to my current employer, and I appreciate that, man. Like, you know, I'm in the union now because of him, and like my family reached the benefits of that. But like I said, I could have just given up and been like, nah, I'm never gonna be union. But you know, you stick with it. You get a little help along the way. You know, if you show like, you know, you deserve an opportunity, and here we are, man. I've been in the union for 7 years, almost 8 years. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I mean, you got to stick to it. You gotta keep going. You can't give up, people. Cause
That's what it is. And that's also a testament to you too, bro, because you put yourself in that position to receive that opportunity. You know what I mean? You didn't give up, and you put yourself out to the universe to allow yourself to receive it. So, kudos to you too, bro. Don't go without patting yourself on the back too.
No, yeah, for sure. You know
what I'm saying?
Say the kid now, baby.
Yes, sir. Nelly up legend. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I work jobs I didn't like, but I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? To get up, to work up that ladder, right?
Always,
so
man.
it is what it is. You just got to keep trying to get better, people, because I mean, where you are today, it's not where you're gonna be, in the future. You always gotta keep striving for more. And that's why we do this podcast, right? To try to motivate people, and
that's the exact reason why we're doing this. To even if it's nothing else, it's to motivate other people, and just to allow us to be small examples of, what it's like every day to do the things that we're saying that we're doing.
I'm glad that you guys are saying, just mentioning this, right? So, just to be very transparent, the reason why we did build this podcast was just to really build a community. We've seen all these great entrepreneurs and innovators, from Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, et cetera. Everyone just making great content. But, I guess because we didn't have the technology like that, or maybe they haven't started it where they recorded their early journeys. You always see it after they've made their 7 figures
Like
and they
already.
blew up. But again, we have this podcast just so you can follow us on our journey, and we're really all about building community. You know what I'm saying? I think that's
right.
one of those most important things that I have to stress when we're actually, marketing and talking about this, because, especially in our beginning stages, we were in episode 9 already. We were ambitious with, sharing this information with, everyone and building the community, and we're still in the process of, being resilient. I mean, I was listening to episode 2. I don't know if you guys remember. Oh Lord, was that
basura?
that tech that I had? It was me. My mic was so horrible, but I didn't let that one failure stop me. We had glitches, etc. Push through it. All right, cool. Keep learning from it, and I think that applies to not just trading, being an entrepreneur, but applying that mindset, that strong will, that resiliency, ambition, perseverance, etc., of just having that mentality is, how do I survive to finally be free? And that's the most important thing. And not only to be free, but how do I find peace? You know what I'm saying? I think that's what it is at the end of the day.
Good.
Yeah. But I'm
that's
very
what we're
curious,
striving for too.
And I'm curious, please let us know, your comments. Shoot us a DM, leave a comment on one of our social media platform pages of a time when you were struggling, when you had to show resilience or perseverance, or something that you had strong ambition for, but you possibly failed. I'm curious to see what you did after. Again, this whole thing is a learning process, and once we do create this culture of just sharing our journeys with each other, besides solutions, I think that's how we can inspire others just to make a difference in the world. You know what I'm saying?
That's it, man. That's it. That's what it's all about. Learning from each other,
Mm-hmm.
and taking advice from people that have done it before you and have done it better, and identifying that, be humble enough to identify that, and roll with it. And that's what we're trying to do, man. We're just trying to spread the knowledge and spread any kind of guidance that we can give, and also other people give us guidance and advice and same things of that nature. So, that's what we're here for. We're here to bounce ideas off each other and other people, and also receive any kind of information as well.
You feel me?
Yeah. That's why we share our trades. We share our experiences, so people can see, right? It's not like what they make it seem on YouTube or online. Like, no, everybody's not always making money.
That's
sometimes
right,
you win,
man.
sometimes you lose, man. But
That's right.
you just got to stick to it. You keep your wrist tight like we do, and you follow the market. You got to stick to it, and in the end, you're gonna be all right, man. Look at Nick. He already has a rental property, right? I'm sure he's working on number 2. He's always looking out there, I'm sure. Real estate prices are dropping, so that's good a little bit. And then Nick, Flip, he just got his house a few months ago too. So I'm
Making
next.
moves, baby.
I'm next.
I still can't believe.
I'm next. Hopefully, I got a 2-bedroom apartment that me and my wife own, but that's just getting tight with 2 kids right now, man.
But that's a property you own, though, bro.
Yeah.
That's a
No, I
property you
know.
own.
I know. Say that.
You're
Once
in
we
the
move
game.
out, that could be a rental. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yes,
You know
it
what I'm
can
saying?
be. Yes, it can be.
And that's fully paid off. So that's even better. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's cash flow right there. So that's what we're looking at. And you got to start small and then you got to start somewhere, right? Right, Nick? Like we always
That's
say, you
right.
got to start
Always,
somewhere. You
man.
get the first one, you
Always.
get the second one, and you keep going. So
And it doesn't have to
Start
be
the
perfect.
process.
Just get it going, right? Just get it going in your own way. It doesn't have to be perfect by the book, man. Just
Yeah.
get it going.
don't compare yourself to others, man. Just do your thing, man. All right?
You got your own journey.
Everybody
sir.
does.
All right. So that concludes today's episode. Again, drop us a comment. We'd love to hear more about your own personal journey and your feedback, just so we can continue this culture of learning from each other, so we can reach our financial freedom and create generational wealth. So with that being said, we got a surprise for you possibly next week. Be cool. Look out for the market. And again, show some love to my brother again for welcoming home his baby girl, Ava.
Yes, that's right.
Have a great
Thanks, guys,
week,
for
all.
coming by. And everybody, we appreciate all the support, all the listens, all the follows and everything. We really appreciate it. And again, shout out to my man right here, the new father, just for the second time. We love you, man. You already know that. And this episode is dedicated to Ava. This is the Ava
It's
episode,
union
baby.
time.
The Ava episode, number 9.
Number 9. Of course, we
Yeah.
can't forget Alex. We see you.
Yeah, he's out there. The boy wonder's
You know
out
what I'm
there,
saying?
but you know.
I
He's out
appreciate
there.
that. I appreciate that, guys. I appreciate that, guys. Vasectomy on deck, of course. You know,
Yes,
but, you know, two, one is good, 2 is better, and that's it, man. We done with it.
The factory is
And,
closed.
That's it, man.
Will he swipe or take out a loan for that?
Nah, no surrogates out here,
Nah,
man.
nah,
You know
hell
what I'm
no,
saying?
bro. You don't already know. That's,
I don't
I'm
even know if
cash
they even
flowing.
do that.
I'm cash flowing that shit. Fuck
You know what
that.
I'm saying?
Yo.
But yeah, man. Watch out for the market next week, man. I expect more red, so keep it tight. Keep that wrist tight, man. And we'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.
Peace out. Peace.